Team Singapore.
I just honestly cannot believe Team Malaysia got the exact same lineup 2 games in a row. Team Singapore, as you mentioned, they have already played that allows them to execute on this lineup. So we will find out which of these 2 teams will be able to claim that bronze medal for their nation.
And as we see here, there's a technical pause because I think everyone can have a big advantage earlier on. I want to see Candy actually capitalize a little bit more now that they have a Karina jungler instead of a Bellman.
Well, already we're seeing that Zorn is going to be up to his usual tricks, invading the jungle, forcing JPL to have to camp Remanison. He's probably going to be able to force Remanison to use the retribution here. And yep, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, Zorn won. Over there, he is one person, but he forced 3 people to beat on him. And right now, 4 means is there just to provide the backup. Right now, Team Malaysia, they're really just focusing on slowing down the farm, because look at this. Chico is trying to steal the farm over from Team Singapore, but he has been caught out. I'm not so sure whether he's secured it for himself or not. But as of right now, looking at the top lane, Formy is going up against Soul using the Uranus. This time, a favorable matchup for himself.
Dan, this is going to be quite ideal for Formaze as well. He is the type that, quite similar to Soul, wants to win out lane and help rotate with the rest of his team. So this is going to be a much better EXP lane. On the opposite side, Adamir is again going to have a little bit of trouble going against Momo because Beatrix does just lose out to the Popolin Koopa.
And look at how Momo is actually playing the lane. He's actually stacking the gold minions. He's making sure that Team Singapore, they're pushing in. He wants to make sure that he can control the pace here, and Zorn, figuring out that Reminiscent is low 4, he's trying to secure the jungle coming in from Malaysia's side. And look at this, Chico engaging onto JPL, forcing out the flicker.
Yeah, Moon dropping real low from that engagement by JPL and Sayla as well. But that is going to be a pretty good start. Zorn does not have Way of the Dragon yet, so he's just going to be harassing Reminiscent, followed up by Tiku. Formaze already in position to secure the turtle pit away from Team Singapore.
A different earlier game for Team Malaysia where they are winning the lanes and really pushing off their advantages. Soul is here trying to prevent Moon to be around the turtle, and looks like Chico will be able to secure it. Should be with no run, but no! Oh! Team Singapore able to steal it away. Reminiscent able to steal that, and right now the Dawning Light trying to help out Soul, but Soul manages to get out of that alive. No first blood in the first 3 minutes of the game.
That's just unfortunate. I don't know for sure if Chiku just messed up the timing or he didn't have retribution off, but that is going to be pretty huge for Reminiscent, considering that he was even stopped by the falling Star Moon right before to buy time for Team Malaysia.
We talked about this. Singapore, they've seen this before. They've seen this exact pick, so they roughly know what Team Malaysia is going to do. And it does show a little bit. They can anticipate the rotation coming in from Team Singapore. And Zorn with this show is very oppressive. He's being quite a nuisance. He's being really annoying. But again, if you've seen it before, you more or less know what you're going to get yourself into.
What is notable this time for Team Singapore is that they do have heroes that are able to counteract the Way of the Dragon. Reminiscent just naturally isn't going to die very easily. Grok can be immune if he is charging up his power of nature, and Uranus has Consecration built in. So there are a lot less targets for Zorn to go for to pick off on Team Singapore.
We're looking at this Team Malaysia, 3 people up on top. Do they want Soul right now? Right now, Purify is not on Gola. And look at that 3 people going on to Soul, but he can tank that. JPL is there just to make sure that his EXP laner stays alive. And Malaysia did not get anything over that engagement. Oh, I might eat my words. They're forcing the first blood onto Soul. But look at this. Team Malaysia, they managed to get JPL as well. 4 members on the top side of the map, really focusing on this lane.
That was really good coordination there, allowing Zorn to tank the tower to buy time for the rest of his team to dive on top of JPL. And now Chiku going to be able to break through an entire gold field and take a tier 1 only 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, but we do have to see it is a trade for trade. Malaysia getting the top side of the map, Team Singapore getting the bottom side of the map. Right now, the turtle is in contention, but Team Malaysia, they lost the first turtle. Will Singapore be able to secure this one, or this time Team Malaysia, they can steal it away?
They are now in position where Madison does secure it. Zorn is out of position, caught out in the Mystic Field, forced to use the Way of the Dragon, but it's not enough to save him. The rest of Team Malaysia are gonna make a hasty retreat.
Now, looking at this on the bottom side of the map, the Popoling Koopa was not involved at all, making sure that Soul on this Uranus doesn't push his advantage. And Adamir, classic Adamir, he's just focusing on those turrets. He wants to get as many objectives on the map as possible to make sure that he has the map advantage for his own team, just so that he will not get caught out by Team Malaysia.
Unfortunately for Adamir, the gold seal just happened to go down the exact time he started whacking on the tower, so no extra money for him, but he is able to take the full tier 1 as a result of that. So a little bit of pros and cons there on the timing that he was able to get that push in.
But still, Team Singapore, they're playing to their win condition, because this is the trend. This is the tempo that they like to set. They just want to get as many turrets as they can just to force out. I think the way that they're seeing it is they need 3 items on Adamir. Once Adamir has 3 items, they'll be like, okay, you know what, guys? We can go for the push. And right now, he already has his first item, which is the Blade of Despair. Going for the second item, if he does want to have the render play, he might be looking for a Blade of Hephaestus or just a Hunter Strike just for a more reliable damage and survivability with increased movement speed.
The lane swap, though, putting Adamir in the top lane actually did wonders, because all of a sudden he is actually ahead of net worth in comparison to Momo, who was winning the lane against him the whole time. Soul now gonna be charged down by Tiku. Momo coming in to provide a hand, but this Uranus is so tanky. Zorn coming in from the side, Way of the Dragon being utilized, but gets purified by the Consecration. Tiku tanking the tower and still cannot finish off the Uranus. The rest of Team Malaysia now in a lot of trouble. Zorn and Momo are really low. And here comes Sayla from the side. He's looking for it. He misses the Mystic Field completely.
Good thing that they have the flicker. But look at that. Team Singapore really using Malaysia's aggression to their own advantage. Adamir is going to get another turret. Look at this. They're like, what, 2,000 gold ahead on Malaysia, and right now they have a little bit more. Team Malaysia, they have to be careful. Chiku went a little bit too aggressive. He stayed so long under that turret, he was bound to get punished.
I do feel like there was a miscommunication on Team Malaysia there. Chiku wanting to go for the kill, and the rest of his team already ready to back off because they don't think they're gonna be able to finish off Soul. So that is definitely a bit of advantage given over to Team Singapore, and this is an opportunity that they have to make use of right now. They're going to be pretty strong at this stage of the game.
Zorn using the Way of the Dragon onto Soul, which will result in nothing, which is something that we do have to pay attention to, where Zorn is less aggressive in this part of in this match. But as you said, it's not the same as the first match. There's not a lot of targets that is favorable for him to use the Way of the Dragon on.
Yukun now going to be able to scout out the rest of the team. Dawning Light almost taking out Zorn, but he is fine. Momo also able to take a tower for himself. So I do think that right now Malaysia are slowing down the momentum somewhat. They're afraid of losing out more kills to Singapore.
Now Malaysia looking from the back foot because they're losing map control. This is a situation where they really have to focus and see what do they really want to do, because I kind of feel like they do want kills. They're just not sure how to get them or who should they really focus on. Ideally, they want Adamir, but look at the protection, look at the positioning from JPL as well as Sayla. They're giving a lot of information. You're not going to be able to gank Adamir without his knowledge.
And what's notable as well is that, oh, hold on, Zorn, he's looking for the Madison, but that's going to be a difficult target to engage on, so he will wisely choose not to go for that. What Team Singapore can do here is that they can use Malaysia's information against them. They know that Zorn will really only make plays if his team is nearby. So as long as they don't see any members of Team Malaysia around their side of the map, they know that they are safe to play more aggressively.
Right now, Malaysia, they're just trying to farm up. Oh, but look at Zorn. And Zorn already going in for the engage, but not able to get anyone there. He is not giving up, but he has to look at the damage. And the real world manipulation is going to pop onto JPL, but the flicker manages to get him out of that fight. Chico is super low, super low. Trying to run away from Soul, but Soul is going to secure that kill. Team Singapore winning a big team fight for themselves.
Massive mistake by Team Malaysia and Singapore. Good job identifying identifying that opportunity. Zorn a little bit unsure of himself whether or not he wants to go for the kick or not, and ended up staying way too long. Singapore getting that kill and then instantly saying it is go time, getting multiple pickoffs against Team Malaysia.
Now the gold lead is getting bigger and bigger. Singapore is going for a solid 5,000 gold lead up against Team Malaysia before the 10-minute mark. And right now, Team Malaysia, they're not really doing too good, but okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Momo just finished off his Demon Hunter sword. The moment he does get involved with a team fight, the damage isn't going to be there. But it's set up. Look at Zorn. As you said, he's hesitating a little bit too much.
Based on what we saw in game number 2, this is a team lineup that will allow Team Malaysia to scale up a little bit more towards that mid-late game. So at this stage, being a little bit behind in net worth is not actually that bad for them. But Team Singapore are definitely not going to let this opportunity go. They know that they are strong right now. They can't allow Team Malaysia to find opportunities to change this battlefield to their own tempo.
Team Malaysia right now, they are protecting mid, but they have to be aware that the Lord is up at top. Eventually, they will have to secure that. But look at this, focusing on the jungler of Team Singapore. But JPL is going behind. Chico is taking a lot of damage, killing spree over to Adamir, and the real world manipulation, trying to make sure that Adamir goes down. But looks like a killing spree is going over to Soul, where Moon is no longer in the game. Momo's trying to dish out as much damage as he can. Reminiscent has to go away. Adamir, the snipe, not managing to hit anyone. And Team Singapore, they're still managing to get this mid lane turret, and the Lord freely pushing up top.
Soul is doing such a good job of frontlining for this team, and he has now scaled up to the point where it's difficult for Team Malaysia to deal with him at all. Even the kick right into the crystal is not enough. Dawning Light going to snipe down Momo in the back line. Shiku is back, tries to go on Soul, but just because he's low HP does not mean he is an easy kill. He is surviving all of this. Are you kidding me right now? They finally pick up the Uranus.
Team Singapore is so close to securing the bronze medal for themselves right now. This is their game to win. And Team Malaysia, they're losing map control. Looking at itemization right now, we're looking at Adamir with 3 items. This is the power spike that they are looking for. He has the Blade of Despair, he has the Malefic Roar, and the Hunter Strike. A lot of penetration, a lot of raw damage over here. So Team Malaysia, whenever they get a damage from Renner, it's gonna hurt a lot. So they have to be careful. The poke damage coming in from Team Singapore is a little bit too strong. Not just from Adamir, but also from Sayla.
And mostly it is Soul that is buying them the time to be able to output this damage. This Uranus, I don't know why Team Malaysia seems to be focusing on taking down Soul so much. They need to find a way to dive into the back line instead. And that is what they're doing. Concealed play. They find Sayla in the bush, but he's able to run away.
My
a beautiful wild charge from JPL catches out too. And now they know they have the advantage. This is a 5v3 situation. Malaysia has to defend against this bush.
I can't remember seeing any JBLs all being that clutch, that crucial, making sure that he got both Zorn as well as Chiku, the engager from Team Malaysia, as well as the jungler, the main damage dealer. Right now, Team Malaysia, they're looking at a big loss, and they have to be careful. That was a good moment for them to potentially picking off the Adamir. But again, they've seen this before. They know what's coming. And then JBL makes sure that they get punished.
Right now, Team Malaysia are 9,000 gold behind Team Singapore. This is a very difficult deficit to make up. And as long as Team Singapore doesn't make any mistakes, they will be able to secure this victory. They will be able to earn their first ever medal at the SEA Games MLBB event.
They are so close. The Lord is marching up top. And right now, Team Singapore, they're really holding on the minions. They're stacking the minions, making sure that all lanes are pushed at the same time. Look at that dawning light. The damage that's being pushed out by Team Singapore is a lot. And the Lord is here inside the base of Team Malaysia. Singapore is knocking on it, knocking on the mid lane turret. Team Malaysia, they're trying to hold off as long as they can. And Team Singapore, they're being disciplined. They don't want to force anything out as of yet.
They will try to get that last inhibitor tower as well. If they can secure this, the game is going to be guaranteed. Forme is trying to tank the tower from Adamir, but it is going to fall. They're spending all their time defending the minion wave. All inhibitors are down. This is a 5v5 in the base. Will Singapore go for this, or will they wait for the next Lord?
Singapore is being very, very cautious, trying not to take any unnecessary fights. But again, they have the advantage when it comes to the poking damage. All inhibitor turrets from Malaysia is down 40 minutes in the game. If Malaysia wants any chance of victory, they have to hold this out, grab a mistake from Team Singapore, hoping for a wipeout and then pushing all the way through to the end. But right now, Team Singapore is not giving that opportunity to Malaysia, being very, very disciplined. And again, this is going to be a very stressful situation for Malaysia as well as Singapore. Singapore understands one small mistake, they're going to lose. Malaysia, if they're not able to have that eye for victory, that eye to catch the mistakes, they are going to lose.
Yeah, but Team Singapore definitely has a much larger margin for error simply because of how ahead they are in terms of farm. They're going to be able to completely zone out Malaysia into their own base. All they have to do is wait until the Lord comes up in another 30 seconds, and they will be able to use that as an impetus to end the game.
With Luminous Lord up, is going to be very dangerous for the side of Malaysia. If we're going to talk about farm, I have to assume that Malaysia, they just have to be grateful with what they have right now, because whether they want to or not, they're going to be involved in a team fight very soon. Either they're going to have a fight on the Lord pit, or they're just going to have to defend a Lord push. Because right now, Team Malaysia, I feel like they have the damage. They just don't have the luxury of dealing the damage to the targets that they want to dish out to.
Yeah, JPL and Seoul have been doing such a good job of protecting the back line. That was a steal. Sayla actually steals the orange buff with the dawning light, and without that, they're going to start working on this Lord. You can see even Seoul is pushing Tiku back into his base so that Malaysia does not have their retribution available. A free Lord going over to Singapore. They see Zorn is out of position. They might want to look for it, but they don't have to be aggressive right now. They have the Lord.
And Malaysia, they have to wait in the base. Zorn is still looking, but again, JPL is all up in his face. And if he doesn't see JPL, he sees Soul. He really wants Sayla. He really wants Adamir, but the amount of range that they have, they don't have to go in front. Team Singapore is cleaning up the jungle coming in from Malaysia, and right now they're catching Formace. He is alone. He is able to survive with all of his shield remaining. Moon took a lot of damage from the dawning light.
This is going to be the final defense from Malaysia. They have to survive this if they want that bronze medal. Zorn is in the backline looking for Adamir. Gets the kick onto the Beatrix. Jiku jumps in. Real Woman Ability already dropped down. They lose Zorn. Unstoppable streak. Adamir gonna be able to find the Esmeralda as well. Tiku gonna go down. Momo is too low. The crystal is exposed. Team Singapore are going to be your 21st SEA Games bronze medalist.
Congratulations, Singapore, being able to bring a medal back home. Before this, on the 30th T Games, Southeast Asia Games, they were not able to go to the semifinals, and right now in the 2021